So hopefully from these interesting demonstrations, you can see that the message you intended to send may not always be the message that's received. So again, discrimination must be based on someone's inclusion in a protected class. So what is a protected class? These include race, color, religion, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, age 40 and over, disability, veteran status, pregnancy-related conditions, childbirth, genetic information, or other bases protected by applicable federal, state, or local law. Now, Policy 165 defines harassment as any unwelcome physical, verbal, or nonverbal conduct, or written, graphic, or electronic statements or depictions, whether direct, indirect, or by a third person, toward an employee, student, or other person affiliated with the university, based on that person's inclusion in one or more protected classes, that unreasonably interferes with that person's work or academic performance, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or abusive work or learning environment, viewed from both a subjective and objective viewpoint based on the totality of circumstances, including but not limited to the frequency and severity of the conduct, whether the conduct was physically threatening or humiliating, the effect of the conduct on the individual's mental or emotional state, whether the conduct was directed at more than one person, whether the conduct arose in the context of other discriminatory conduct, and whether the speech or conduct deserves the protections of academic freedom or the First Amendment. So let's talk a little bit about a hostile environment. So many times employees will come or students will come and say, I'm in a hostile environment. They're just so mean. And the term hostile environment actually means that the actions that are creating the hostility are based on a protected class. So if we have someone who's what I call the equal opportunity offender, who is equally mean or hostile to everyone, then it's unlikely it will reach the level of a policy definition hostile environment because it is not based on protected class. The Office for Civil Rights from the Department of Education explains a hostile environment is an environment that is created by oral, written, graphic, or physical conduct related to an individual's protected class that is sufficiently severe, persistent, or pervasive so as to interfere with, limit the ability of an individual to participate in the benefit from the recipient's programs, services, or activities. So again, the Department of Education recognizes that conduct must be based on the protected class in order to reach a level of hostile environment. Now let's talk about retaliation. In many cases, people are very frustrated when they are notified that there is a charge of discrimination against them. Just because we receive a charge of discrimination does not mean that someone has actually discriminated. But if someone is so frustrated or upset by the charge of discrimination that they go and talk to that person and say, why in the world did you go and talk to Equal Opportunity? It is possible that whether there is discrimination or not, they have now retaliated against that person because by asking those questions, they may chill or discourage that person from filing a report. The Supreme Court has made a determination that attempts to chill or discourage people from coming forward to assert their rights can be retaliation. So there are two ways to reach retaliation. The first is negative action towards someone. So again, intimidation, threats of reprisal, harassment, or other materially adverse actions, or threats of such materially adverse actions made by or against persons employed by, attending, or affiliated with the university in any way, or participating in a university program or activity against anyone who in good faith opposes discrimination or harassment, reports or files a complaint of discrimination or harassment, honestly participates or assists in a university-related investigation, hearing, or other proceeding relating to discrimination or harassment, or otherwise asserts rights protected by Title VII or other applicable laws. And any action designed to prevent or discourage someone from reporting a protected class harassment or discrimination concern may also be retaliation. So again, this means asking questions about the investigation or asking someone if they have filed a report of discrimination. In some cases, expressing an opinion, if untrue, may result in civil defamation claims against the employees themselves, and those employees and students are responsible for their own statements. And the university and state risk management do not typically defend employees in these matters, so employees bear the expense of those lawsuits themselves. In some cases, expressing an opinion, if untrue, may result in civil defamation claims against the employees themselves, and those employees and students are responsible for their own statements. And the university and state risk management do not typically defend employees in these matters, so employees bear the expense of those lawsuits themselves.